Is my screen is visible? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sai Charita. Yes. Uh,
What will
yeah. It is visible on presenting my screen. Once check. Once pin it on my. Once pin it on my.
Ma'am, we are getting disturbance.
even
What?
though we are unable to see your screen?
Ma'am, too much disturbance.
Voice is also not clear, ma'am.
Background too much disturbance, ma'am.
Hello. Is my screen is visible now?
Not visible, ma'am.
No, ma'am, not
And
visible.
I will try to share one more time. Wait a minute.
Ma'am, revision classes ఎప్పుడైతే మ్యామ్?
After 10th, ma. After 10th October,
మ్యామ్ 3 days గ్యాప్
there
ఉంది
are
కదా మ్యామ్.
there is a revision.
చాలా మంది అడుగుతున్నారు సప్లీస్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు.
Of course. అవునమ్మా సప్లీస్ ఫెయిల్
ఓకే.
అవ్వమని ఎవరైనా చెప్పారా మీకు కాదు కదా ఆ?
అది పెడతానన్నారు మ్యామ్.
మేము చాలా
అవునమ్మా
ఉన్నాయి మ్యామ్.
పెడతారు
ఒక్కొక్కరికి 4 వేలు.
పెడతారు పెడతారు మండే నుంచి ఆల్ సండే నుంచి యూ హ్యావ్ ఏ రెమిడియల్ క్లాసెస్
మ్యామ్ ట్యూస్డేనే మ్యామ్ ఎగ్జామ్.
సో వాట్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఏ
మ్యామ్
రెమిడియల్ ఫ్రమ్ సండే ఆన్వర్డ్స్ నా యూ హ్యావ్ ఏ రెమిడియల్ క్లాసెస్ ఫ్రమ్ సండే ఆన్వర్డ్స్ based on the subject first you have a subject so further they are going to conduct the remedial classes okay yeah now once see that if my screen is visible
నాట్ విజిబుల్.
నో.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah yes thank you yes yes Ramya thank you Ramya thank you Lakshmi Prasanna thank you Sai Cheta so now we'll start the third unit okay once I want to open the PPT. Now, can anyone tell me what are the topics we have covered in the second unit? Can anyone? What are the topics so far we discussed in the second unit? Inheritance and abstract class. S. Ramya. S. Good. Templates. S. Vanilla. Templates. Yes. Still. Still. Polymorphism. Yes. Good. Polymorphism is there. As Mahela. Polymorphism and pure virtual function. Okay. Pure virtual function. S. Print and pure virtual function. Still. One more is there. First topic. What is the first topic in the second unit? What is the first topic in the second unit? Can anyone? What is the first topic in the second unit? Operator overload. Yes, good, good, good Soumya. Good Bharatwaj. It is not function overloading. It is the operator overloading. Bhavana. Yes, it is operator overloading. Yes, good ma. as we discuss these topics in the second unit. Okay, so up to second unit, we have completed the C++ concepts. Okay, only first two units are the C++, and next third, fourth, fifth units are data structures through C++. Okay, so that's why we are giving the name to the subject as data structures through C++. So in first units we discussed about the C++ concept, and from the third, fourth, and from the third unit we are going to see the data structures using C++. Okay, so any data, I mean, we can implement a data structure in any language, either it is in C, C++, Java, .NET, any language. And here in this subject, we are going to implement the data structure using the C++. Okay, now before going to the data structure, we have one topic. Okay, so after completion of that one, we'll go to the actual what is the data structure and what are the advantages, why we are using that one. Okay, we'll see that one. Now, one see here. So this is the third unit, and these are the topics in our third unit. Third unit. So that is algorithms and performance analysis, time complexity and base complexity, and review of the basic data structures. What are the data structures to store the data in our system? And the list ADT, this is one type of data structure, and we can implement that one using the single linked list, double linked list, circular linked list. These are the types of linked list. And we have a stack is there, queue is there. These are the data structures and how to implement their operations and insertion, deletion, searching operations in the stack and queue. And next we have one more data structure, hash table representation. So how to implement the hash table using some hash functions. And we have some collisions are there. Okay, means ambiguity. Okay, we have some collisions are there, and to overcome that we have a separate chaining method is there, and open addressing is there, linear probing, quadratic probing, double hashing, rehashing, and externally hashing. Okay, so these are the topics. Now from today onwards we are going to cover all these topics. Okay, now, so what is the first topic in our third unit here? Algorithms and performance analysis. And what is the time complexity and the space complexity. Now we'll see that one. Okay. Now once we go to the topic, wait a minute. Yeah. Tell me what is an algorithm? I think already in C language uh, you're aware of that what is the algorithm, what is the use of algorithm, what is the flow chart, and what is the need of flow chart. Yes or no? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what is an algorithm?
Set of sequential steps written in English language to solve a given problem is called algorithm.
Yes. Yes. Good. Very good one. Very good. Excellent. So algorithm is a set of instructions or rules. Based on that, we are going to write the procedure of your problem. Problem is your program. Okay. I will give you the one problem. Means I want to find the prime number. Okay, I want to find the prime number from so and so 1 to n number. Okay, so this is my problem. So how many ways you can solve the problem? So there are number of ways, number of algorithms you can solve to find the prime numbers between 1 to n. Okay, so among that we can choose one thing. Okay, so what is that algorithm? How to find out the prime numbers from 1 to n? So there is a logic is there, and we are going to write that logic using the algorithm. Okay, an algorithm is a finite set of instructions to perform a particular task. The instructions or statements, both are same instructions or statements, are in simple English language. Okay, so this is the definition of an algorithm. Okay, so what is the history of an algorithm actually? Okay, algorithm has a long history, and the word can be traced back from the ninth century. At this time, the Persian scientist, so who is the Persian scientist? He is astronomer also, and he is a mathematician. So these are the qualifications of a Persian mathematician, astronomer, as well as a mathematician. So who is that person? Abdullah Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. So this is the name of the scientist, and he is a Persian mathematician, I mean Persian scientist as well as an astronomer and a mathematician. Okay, and he is an Al-Khwarizmi, and often cited as the father of algebra. So they are called the Al-Khwarizmi as the father of algebra. Okay, and he was indirectly responsible for the creation of the term algorithm. Okay, so he invented the term for the number of steps or the statements, and that couple of statements or the set of instructions are called as an algorithm. So he had given the name to the particular instructions, so that name is called as an algorithm. Okay, and by the name of the scientist, we are giving the name to that as an algorithm. You can see here algorithm. So this is the scientist last word here algorithm. So based on that, he is giving the name that algorithm to the particular set of instructions. Okay. No. So the word algorithm means, actually what is the algorithm means, we have one more definition. A process or set of rules to be followed in calculation or other problem solving operation. Yes or no? Suppose now I have given the statement that I need to find out the prime numbers between 1 to 8. So this is my problem. So how to calculate the prime numbers, we need to create the process, and we need to write down some set of rules how to find out the prime numbers from 1 to n. So we have some logic is. Suppose I'll give one more statement. I want to find out the Fibonacci series.
బ్యాక్
Okay.
డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది.
How to find out the yes, ma?
You're getting
Hello.
we are getting
Your
a
voice
lot
is
of
too low, ma'am.
disturbance, ma'am.
Your voice is low.
Ma'am, మీ
Yes,
voice
ma'am.
disturbance
No,
వస్తుంది
ma'am.
మ్యామ్
You are
బ్యాక్
getting
సైడ్.
disturbance.
Too much disturbance we are getting.
Wait a minute.
Ma'am, we are getting too much disturbance.
Yeah. Okay. Let
ఇట్లయితే మన సిలబస్ అయిపోయినట్టే మ్యామ్ ఇక.
hello. Yeah. So, so this is the definition for algorithm. We have one more definition. What is that? It is a process, a set of rules to be followed in the calculations or other problem solving operations. Suppose I need to find out the quadratic equation. Okay, I will need to find out the factors of a quadratic equation. So how to calculate that one? We have a some procedure, and we have a logic, and we need to write that procedure and logic in a rule format or statement format or instructions format. Okay, so that is called as that procedure is called as a algorithm. And how to write the procedure using some steps. So step 1, you need to declare some variables. And step 2, you need to initialize the variables. And step 3, either you are going to use the for loop or anything. So by that, we are going to solve the problem. Means we are implementing the program or problem using the algorithm. Okay. So before going to implement the program, we need to write the algorithm. Based on the algorithm steps, we are implementing the problem statement. Means we are going to solve the statement. Okay, and therefore algorithm refers to a set of rules or instructions that step by step define how a work is to be executed upon in order to get the expected result. I want to expect the result from 1 to 8 prime numbers. So for that we need to write the algorithm, and we are going to implement that algorithm using the program. Okay, and algorithm defines the logical flow of a computer program. So what is the one more definition? Algorithm defines the logical flow of a computer program. And in order to build any program, we need to have an idea of what that program does. So before going to this solution, means before going to the algorithm, first we need to analyze that one. What is my problem statement? How can I solve that problem statement? How many ways we have? So if you are taking this particular procedure, how can we solve the procedure? Or if you are taking the second procedure, how can we solve the problem? So like that, we need to analyze that one. Okay. So in order to build any program, we need to have an idea of what that program does, and we define them in an algorithm. So we need to write the solution using the algorithm. In short words, algorithm is to a program what design is to implementation. Means what is an algorithm? What program consists of? How to implement the program? So what is the design? That is an algorithm. So design is simply you can call it an algorithm, and you are going to implement that algorithm using the programming part. So this is about the algorithm. So is this clear now? Yes? So everyone tell me. So is this clear?
No, ma'am.
My class is not clear, or you are getting anyway? Yes? Yes, ma'am? Tell me. I think already you learned this algorithm topic in the C language itself. Yes or no? Yes. So this algorithm is a finite set of instructions to perform a particular task. So what is an algorithm actually? It is a set of instructions or statements, and that can be written in a English language only. In our same English language, we are going to write the instructions or the statements. Okay. And what is the history of an algorithm? So it is from 9th century onwards we are using the algorithm word. And who invented that algorithm word? That is the Persian scientist, and who is astronomer and mathematician. And what is the name of him? That is Abdullah Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi. And by the name of scientist al-Khwarizmi, he invented the name for the set of instructions are called as algorithm. And he is also called as the father of algebra. Okay, and he suggests the name to the particular set of instructions is called as an algorithm. And what is the no definition for an algorithm? It is a process or set of rules to be followed in calculation or other problem solving for operations. So to solve the problem by using the algorithm, we need to write the procedure or logic, and we are going to implement that logic or algorithm through programming. Okay. So therefore, the algorithm refers to a set of rules or instructions, and that is consists of step by step. And we are going to define how a program works, or how a work is to be executed upon in order to get the expected results. So in shorthand, we can call it as the algorithm is a design and program is the implementation. So before going to construct a building, first we need to give the plan of your building. So how can I construct the building? How many rooms I want? How many floors I want? Where I want to keep the lab, and where I want to keep the classroom, and where is the HOD room, and where is the staff room, or any waiting hall for the students. So first I need to plan one thing. Okay, so that plan is called as an algorithm. Okay, and that using that design we are going to implement the program, or we are going to construct the building. So that is the algorithm. So is this clear now? Yes, Vicky? Is this clear? Hello? Guys, please respond.
Ma'am, yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Midas. Okay, now what is the use of an algorithm? Just now I have said that it is a design part, and we are going to implement the design part using the implementation, that is a program. Okay, so algorithm defines the logical flow of a computer or the computer program. In order to build any program, we need to have an idea of what that program does, means what the program consists of. How can we implement the program? What is the logic inside or behind that particular program statement? So we need to have an idea about what that program does, and we define them in the form of the algorithm. So that is the use of the algorithm. Okay. So directly you can't write the programming. So if you are in the basic, the first step to learn the C program or to learn the programming part, so directly you cannot understand the programming part. So first we need to write the algorithm. So what is the solution for the particular problem or program? Then we are going to the implementation part. Okay. So that is the use of an algorithm. So, what are the characteristics of an algorithm? Please, can anyone tell me what are the characteristics of an algorithm? Anyone? What are the characteristics of an algorithm? What are the characteristics of an algorithm? No, that comes. Yes. Likit, tell me what are the characteristics of an algorithm? What are the characteristics of an algorithm? Characteristics of an algorithm. Likit, please respond.
No, ma'am.
What are the characteristics of an algorithm? Huh?
I don't know, ma'am.
You don't know? Okay, Premsai, are you there? What are the characteristics of an algorithm?
I don't know, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay, yeah, Premsai, what are the characteristics of an algorithm? Means how can we write the algorithm? What are the steps we need to write the algorithm? What are the steps we need to write the algorithm? No one. Terminate after some format steps as well. Final step will become input output as good. Good, very good, very good, very good. Reader understandable. Yes, yes, good answers. So these are the characteristics of knowledge. We'll look into that stepwise. The first one, this algorithm having, yeah, yeah. Should this algorithm having the features or characteristics? We have five characteristics. The first one, you have a input. What is the input we have to give to the algorithm? Okay, we have some conditions how we are going to give the input, whether it is an integer, float, like that. So we need to give some input. So based on input, we are getting the second one, that is the output. That is the second characteristics. So first one is the input, and second one is the output, and third one is the definiteness, and next we have a effectiveness, and next we have finiteness. So these are the five characteristics of an algorithm. Okay, so there is input, output, definiteness, and effectiveness, and finiteness. Okay, now we'll see one by one. What is input? An algorithm has zero or more inputs. Means suppose if you are taking a CR statement, we are not giving any input in CR statement. Simply I'm going to print the statement hello. That's it. We are not giving any input, but that hello is going to print on the monitor. Yes or no? So we are not giving any input through variables. Simply we are taking a CR statement and we are going to print the statement, and that statement will be displayed on the monitor. So that is a zero input we are giving to the program or algorithm. So an algorithm has zero or more inputs, that is quantities which are given to it initially before the algorithm begins. Means before going to write the program, what are the variables we have to use in the program, and what are the values we need to initialize to the particular variables. So that is called as an input. So it's the beginning of your first step of your algorithm. Okay. And what is the next one? Output. So what is an output here? For each and every program, we are getting one output. That is based on your input given to the program, we are getting the output. So that algorithm has one or more outputs in it. Okay, so one or more outputs. See here, there is a difference between the input and output. Input is zero or more inputs, and coming to the output, we have it one or more outputs. So here we are, suppose if I am taking a single statement hello, I'm not giving any input through variable, but I'm going to display the statement using a CL statement. Okay. Now what you are getting the output there on the monitor, hello is getting the means we are getting at least one output on the monitor. But come to the input, zero or more inputs, but come to the output, we have a one or more outputs. And what is that? The quantities which have a specified relation to the inputs. Based on the input, we are getting the output. Okay, so there is an output. So this is the second characteristic of an algorithm. Then what is the third one here? Definiteness. So what is the definiteness here? Each step of an algorithm must be precisely defined. The actions to be carried out must be rigorously and unambiguously specified for each case. So when you are writing the program and algorithm, it should be clear. There are no confusion to write that algorithm or statements. Okay, there is no ambiguous, nor you are going to create any ambiguous to implement the program. Okay, so it should be clear cut and there is no ambiguous in the program. So that is called as an definiteness. So each step of an algorithm must be precisely defined and that actions to be carried out must be rigorously and unambiguously. Unambiguous means without ambiguous. Ambiguous means we are confusion. So we need to eliminate that ambiguous when we are writing the algorithm. So this is the third characteristics of an algorithm. And what is the fourth one? Effectiveness. So what is the effectiveness here? For an algorithm to be effective, it means that all the steps that are required to get to output must be feasible with the available resources. Based on the available resources means based on the giving the inputs to the or variables to the program and algorithm, we are getting the output in a proper way. If you are using the integer variables, you need to get the output integer only. If you are giving the variables as a float, you need to get the output as a float only. Okay, so it should not contain any unnecessary and redundant steps which should make an algorithm ineffective. Okay, unnecessary. Suppose if you are taking the addition of the two numbers, we are going to declare the three numbers. Okay, suppose c equal to equal means we need to declare the a, b, c variables, and we need to assign the values to the a and b, and simply we are going to store the result of a, b into the c. So we need to declare the three variables. Or with the two variables, you can perform the addition. Simply take the values a, b, okay, assign the values to the a, b variables, and in the zero statement in a brackets, a plus b simply you are going to fill the output. Means with the two variables or three variables, you can perform the addition here. Okay. Suppose if you are declaring the one more variable, fourth variable, what is the name of fourth variable? So we have some unnecessary variable. So suppose if you are when you are going to write the program in a C language, first we need to declare the number of variables you are going to use in the variable program. First we need to declare that variable. Okay. Suppose if that variable is not used in the program, we need to delete that one. Okay, so that is unnecessary. And suppose if you are redundant, what is the redundant steps here? Suppose if you are taking the same statement or serial statement, enter the values. Again, you are going to take the one more serial statement, enter the value. So this is a redundant. Already, I think you have a redundant topic in the DBMS. Okay, so we need to remove the unnecessary and repeatedly what you are going to print the statements. We need to remove that statements from the algorithm. So it should be effectiveness. Okay, it should be clear. And that is the effectiveness. Okay, and next one, finiteness. So what is the finiteness here? An algorithm must always terminate after a finite number of steps. It is not going into the loops. Suppose if you are using the loops and if you are giving the condition in a wrong way, it goes on repeating the number of times. The loop will be repeated number of times. In that case, you are not getting the output there. Okay, so the algorithm must always terminate after a finite number of steps. So this is the fifth characteristics of an algorithm. So what are the characteristics here? Input, output, definiteness, effectiveness, and finiteness. So these are the characteristics when you are going to write the program. You need to remember that what is the input to the program and how you are getting the output. And we need to write the program in an unambiguous way so there are no confusions there. And effectiveness means we need to remove the unnecessary path of state, unnecessary paths in the algorithm. Okay. And finiteness means we need to stop the procedure at after finite number of steps. It should not be infinite. Okay, it should be finite. Okay, so that is these are the characteristics of an algorithm. Is this clear, ma?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Mumtaz. Now, analysis of an algorithm. Now we have a new topic in C++. Analysis of an algorithm. So what is analysis? We need to analyze an algorithm. Why we have to analyze the algorithm? What is the need to analyze of an algorithm? We want to see that. Okay. So here analysis of an algorithm is the task of determining how much computing time and storage. Somebody is sharing the screen. Sai Krishna, Sai Krishna, stop sharing. What's the rule number? What's the rule number, Sai Krishna? Are you there? Yes. Please respond. Sai Krishna. What's the rule number? No, no, no. I'm not going to excuse anything. What's the rule number? Sai Krishna. Wait a minute. I'm looking to the. Yeah. Is my screen is visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Now,
Ma'am,
coming to the. Yes, Vendas.
ma'am,
Tell me.
can you increase your voice, ma'am?
What more?
Any voice?
Voice?
Yes, ma'am. Increase your
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I increase some. My voice.
somewhat low, ma'am.
Okay. We'll see that. It is already high now. Volume is also already high, and my microphone is also. I said that my mic is in a high volume only. Okay. Yeah. So please increase your voice. Okay. I have some. Maybe I have a problem. Please increase your mobile volume. Sorry. Okay, volume. Okay. Increase your volume. Yeah. Thank you. Now we'll go to the analysis of an algorithm. So what is an analysis of an algorithm? Why we need to analyze the algorithm? What is the use of an algorithm? Okay. Now let's see that one. An analysis of an algorithm is a task of determining how much computing time and storage means space. Storage means space is required by an algorithm or program. So this analysis of an algorithm is also called as performance analysis. So this analysis of an algorithm is also called as performance analysis. Okay, fine. So how many ways we can analyze the program or an algorithm? So we have two ways to analyze the algorithm. So that is time complexity and the space complexity. Okay, so what is the analysis of an algorithm? The task of determining how much computing time. So computing time means we need to take the time. What is the time to require to get the output? What is the time to require to get the output for an algorithm? So that is time complexity. And storage, how much memory is allocated when you are taking the number of variables in the program and algorithm. So that is the storage. So how can we analyze the program using the space complex? Storage means here state. So in these two many ways, two ways we can analyze the algorithm or programming. That is the time complexity and the space complexity. Okay, so what is the time complexity here? How much time you need or how much time the algorithm need to give the output for the program. So that is the time complexity. And what is the space complexity? How much memory or storage or space is required to execute a particular program algorithm. So why we need the space means we are going to some declare some variables, or we are going to declare some functions, and we are going to take some dynamic memory analytic, we have static memory analytic, and memory. So how much space is required to execute a particular program? That is the term as a space complexity. Okay, so why we need to analyze these time complexity and space complexity? Suppose if I am giving any problem or problem statements, the people can solve the problem statements in number of ways. Okay, so having some solution S1, S2, S3, up to some Sn number of solutions are there. Okay, so among S1 to Sn solutions, which solution is best one? Which solution is best one? Suppose if you are in the Kazipur and I want to reach the Varangal, okay, so how many ways you can reach the Varangal from the Portugal? We have a number of ways. Okay, you can reach the Varangal from Hampo Road side or through Hanamkonda or through that KU Crossroad. So you have a number of ways to reach the Varangal. But which one is the best one based on the time reaching to the particular Varangal? So based on the time we are selecting which one is the best way or best path to reach the Varangal. So like that we need to take the solution from n number of solution of a problem statement. Okay, so that is the time complexity. And what is the space complexity here? How much memory is allocated? Suppose when you are reaching the Varangal, so you can come by through walk or through bicycle or through any vehicle or auto or car or bus or train. You can take any one. Okay. So but among these one, which one is the best one? Okay, which one is the best one? Suppose if you are taking the car, allocate some space. If you are taking the train, it allocates more space. If you are taking the bus, it will allocate some space. So which one is the best one? Based on the space, we are going to take the best solution. So these are the two ways to analyze algorithm. Why we need to analyze algorithm? To find out the best one based on the time and space complexity. To find out the best one, we are using the time and the space complexity, that is the analysis of an algorithm. Is this clear, ma? What is an performance analysis or analysis of an algorithm? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Likit. Thank you. So I will stop this session up to here. We'll continue the topic in the next session. Okay? Thank you. Wait a minute. I'm going to download the attendance. Wait a minute, ma. Don't leave the class. I need to take the download.